Liquor Talk, brand new episode starts now. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Liquor Talk podcast. I'm your man Vicar, and we are in the final stages of Liquor Talk. We are in the fourth quarter of the Liquor Talk season. Season 4 has been wonderful, and we're coming for the grand finale, ladies and gentlemen. But my guest today, podcasting out of Denver, Colorado. This brother is the host of the Toxic Tangents podcast. This is Mr. J. How you doing, Dr. J?
I'm great. I'm great. Happy to be on your show.
Hey man, I was happy to have you on my. I was happy to come on your show too. His name Julius. That's why I called him Dr. J. Y'all. Julius Irving. You know what I'm saying. So tell the people about your podcast, Toxic Tangents Podcast.
So Toxic Tangents, it's a comedy podcast. Started not too long ago, but basically the premise of it is we're not afraid to get toxic. Everybody throws that word around nowadays. Is low key starting to get played out. You know what I'm saying? But the whole premise is like, what your opinion is of being toxic might not actually be toxic or whatever. It's all relative. So we like, man, screw it. We leaning all the way into it, just being ourselves. And I'm very good at going off on tangents, which you'll probably see in this episode. So I said, man, let's put them together.
Hey, I'm with it though, you know what I'm saying? Because I saw the tangents firsthand when we recorded together on your platform, you know what I'm saying? So I'm with it. So tell me, what got you started? What made you decide to finally start a podcast? Because I know you just recently started this podcast, right?
Yeah. So I just listened to mad podcasts for the past few years and stuff, and just really became an avid podcast listener. I know probably the average person doesn't do that, or they might watch it only on YouTube or something. But I was on Spotify or whatever. I probably got like 50 podcasts that I'm following and that I listen to and stuff. And you ever hear a podcast and you're like, damn, I really wish I could just be in that room to have these conversations with them, because it's like an automatic thing. You get your own little opinions about whatever they talking about, and then on top of that, they talking about current events and a lot of them, and you obviously have your own opinions with that. So yeah, just eventually I'm like, I gotta start me a show too. So that, and then there's a huge podcast boom right now.
Yes, it
So I guess
is.
I'm part of that. I'm sure podcasters like you that been doing it for a minute, you like, where are all these little niggas coming from?
You know what? I feel like I'm the polar opposite of it. I'm like, come on, little niggas, come on, start your damn podcast. I'm the opposite. I'm like, fuck that shit. There's enough money out here for us. Come on, start your damn podcast. The reason I say that is because if you don't start it now, you'll probably regret it when you're 50 or you're 60, you're up there in your age and stuff, and you're like, you sitting there thinking about it. I'm just like, I'm kind of like that man that was the Everest College man. You know what that man I was talking about? The man that be screaming at you like, you need to go to college, man, while you're sitting
Oh,
on the
yep,
couch and stuff.
yep.
I kind of feel like him when it comes to podcasts. I'm like, you might as well just go ahead and start it, because either somebody gonna like what you gotta hit say, or somebody don't. Somebody gonna like what you guys saying. Somebody gonna listen to you. So that's kind of
Right.
how my take on it. So
See, I respect that, because I've heard from some people like it's too saturated and all that kind of stuff, and they mad because I guess they think that it's just more competition. But in the words of a wise man, he said that he doesn't see competition; he sees collaboration. So I like how you have a very positive outlook on it, and on top of that, I'm not gonna lie, most of these podcasts that are starting, they're gonna fall off. There's some
yeah,
crazy statistic like people. I don't know the numbers, but most people fall off after like 6 episodes. I've heard after 10
yeah,
episodes. It's crazy, and I can see why. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? Like
yes.
this shit ain't as easy as it look. Like,
No, hell no. It is not as easy as it looks. And it's like, bruh, I look through my catalog and I'm like, I just to check in on some of the guests I've had on season 2, on season 3, and they done dropped off like flies. I'm like, damn, like I see some are trying to make comebacks, but then I see some are progressing in other areas of their life. I'm like, if that's the case, go for it. I know one chick, she went off to med school, so I'm like, go ahead, go be a doctor, you know. So But then somebody see they ain't even doing it. So you're definitely right about the numbers. But so which is why I tell people if you're gonna do it, you gotta put your heart into it and you just gotta go. You gotta have that passion to talk and network and collaborate with people. Cause hey, you know what I'm saying? Only the real ones are gonna last.
Right, right. How many episodes do you have?
Right now, this is episode 227. So right now we're sitting at 226.
See, and I can only imagine how frustrating it is collabing with people, and then they next thing you know, oh, they ain't got a show no more. Shoot. I'm only what about 30 something episodes in, and I've even seen that. I'm like, okay, well, damn. Especially if you like their show, then that's some like I'm a fan of you, and then you just for whatever reason stop doing the show. I'm like, dang.
Exactly. And I've seen some comedians, I've seen some artists. I'm like, I've had some artists come on. I'm like, okay, I'm tapped into your shit. You know what I'm saying? I've had a poet come on. I'm reading your shit. But guess what? For whatever reason, you just stop doing whatever you're doing. So it's just some other advice would be to other podcast listeners. If you're going to get on somebody's podcast, please continue to keep going because we still checking your shit out even after we done collabed.
Right, 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 right.
We still rocking with you, you know what I'm saying? So far, what was your favorite episode of the Toxic Tangents podcast so far out of all 35?
Oof. I would say my personal favorite one is it's called Black Privilege.
Ooh, black privilege.
Now I'll be honest, the audio isn't 100% because we kind of did it impromptu, but the content is like if I could have my show be like that every episode, I would love that.
I feel you. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? So elaborate on what exactly is black privilege because sometimes we might not see what the hell black privilege is because all we see is we're targets, because we got white supremacist groups trying to shoot us down. We get
Right.
struck down by the medical system. We can't even go to the bank for the loans. You know what I'm saying? We can't even sell our houses for a decent markup because it's like the value goes down just because you're black. So elaborate a little bit on this black privilege since you brought it up.
That's a good question. I still don't even fully understand it, but especially in comparing to white privilege, I'm like, I don't know in this country, you know what I'm saying, that it's necessarily analogous, but I would describe it as we're able to do certain things that other people can't, such as you ever just talk shit about white people because it's fun to do that, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, shit like that. We could do that, right? But they can't do if they start talking shit about black folks like that. It's racist, right? Because of
Hmm.
history, right? So I would say is that, and it's also culture, right? Because we leading this shit. You
We
know,
are.
we
Our
really do,
handprints all over this shit.
right? And that's what I see as black privilege. Like you have, it, like I said, it's a little bit hard for me to explain, but it's a great thing being black in America because everything from down to hip hop to where we dress, to the lingo and all this kind of shit. Like we started that, so naturally we kind of got. I hate to say it like this, but nah, I'm not gonna say that. But yeah.
Nah, don't hold back. You ain't got to hold back.
So the reason I didn't want to say it because it might sound crazy, but a cool factor, which is it's a double edged sword, right? Because then motherfuckers always might think you the cool guy. I'm like, nah, man, I'm just me.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, that's cool right there. Just being you and not giving a fuck. That's what I've learned over the years. Like, if you just be you in a room and you just don't give a fuck what people think, hey, that's the coolest shit. Because you're already black, so hey, I just gotta be one cool motherfucker and just go with it.
Right, right, right. But yeah, all that is how I would understand black privilege. I haven't read Charlemagne the God's book called that, but I
I
don't know.
read
So,
that book years ago. I'm probably gonna reread it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's actually great content. I just gotta get back on my reading shit. You know what I'm saying? But that was a really good book by Charlamagne the God. Like I said, it was some years ago when I read it because I had bought it like when it first came out. So I can't remember off the top of my head, but I ain't gonna lie. I remember the part where he gives you the key on eating somebody out. I remember that page. I can't. I remember that
that's
page.
hilarious. See, I heard part of the audio book because I still do have it on audiobook, and I could see why he was the one who read it, so it's in his voice, and I'm like, I can't even imagine anybody wanting to read this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like for an audiobook, because it's like the shit that he says is kind of wild.
Hey, but it's like from what I remember is he went through some shit, but he made it through and he made it to the part where he's at today. And if he hadn't gone through that shit, he wouldn't be where he at today. So it's just you gotta look back on your own life. It's like the shit you go through today, it's like, hey, when you successful and you just keep at your craft or whatever it is, and you see it all the way through, and you don't give up, then yeah, you gonna be, hey, that really built me. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, season 4 has probably been the toughest season of Liquor Talk ever. You know what I'm saying? I will elaborate more on the season finale, but you know, so I understand where he was coming from in his storytelling and telling what he went through and stuff. So getting fired by different radio stations and stuff. So that shit is humbling. Like getting fired from a job is already humbling in itself. So
It is. So
man,
maybe that's another part of black privilege is, through history we just been through so much, and it makes us stronger. It builds that character. It builds that culture that everybody loves. And
yeah.
now we the descendants of all that hardship, and we get to wear that. We have the privilege of getting to wear that.
Yes, we have the privilege of wearing that and not folding under pressure because there are so many people that will fold under pressure that will just go through half the shit we've been through and just fold and just be like, the hell with this and stuff. So if
Exactly.
you're out here listening to this and you're still pushing, hey, keep going. That's anything to anything, you know what I'm saying? Just gotta keep going.
Oh no, it's never gonna stop. Plus, I like podcasting.
Shit, I like it too, dog. That's why it's like sometimes I'll be sitting there like some days I have my moments of man, fuck this shit, but then I have my day when I'm about to record, I tap back into it like I love this
Mm,
shit because I'm making connections in different states. That's the beautiful thing about technology, because back when I first got started in podcasting, we didn't have all this. Well, we had it, we just didn't blow up the way it should have.
mhm. So let
So
me let me ask you. You say you have some days where you just like fuck it. What causes you to have those type of feelings about podcasting?
I ain't gonna lie. Looking at the numbers and
Hmm.
you're looking at the numbers and you're looking at your following and stuff. You're like, shit. I'm putting my heart into these episodes and ain't nobody hearing me. So
Right,
I
like it
have
should
my,
be more type shit.
huh?
Like it should be more type shit. That's what be fucking me up sometimes. But
Hell yeah. Cause I'm like, I'm gonna sweat here, done got this guest and scheduled around, moved around the schedule and stuff. Because scheduling guests is hard as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Because they have a certain schedule. And then there was some guests I just had to tell them, like, look, I will see you in September for season 5 because you're just impossible. So and also you deal with sometimes people showing up, not even showing up. They
oof.
you know some people I'm able to forgive, you know what I'm saying? I'll give them that 24-hour grace period to hit me up like, hey, what was up? I'll give them that grace period. But then some people, then you ever record with somebody, I don't know if you've had this happen to you, that you're saying to yourself, this is the last time I'm ever gonna record with you. Have you had that happen to you yet?
No, not really, not yet.
Stick around, it's coming. Hey, I hate to scare you, but it's coming. You're gonna record with somebody, you're like, I am not gonna record this motherfucker ever again because there was some people that they just didn't have the energy or they said something egregious. Like I had this one comedian chick, she was like, "All the white men need to slide my DMs." I'm like, "Girl, you are black and you're on a black man's podcast advocating for white men."
Was she
Okay,
black?
yeah, she was black. And the crazy thing about her was she got ripped by another podcast because guess what? Another podcast, they belittled her for how she was approaching them because I think she went on a phase where she just wanted to get on everybody's podcast. So they saw the email she sent, they ripped it to shreds. I'm like, damn. I just had this poor girl on a couple of weeks ago, and I think they were just breaking down the grammar stuff. I'm like, damn, what are we in English class now? It was so funny how they post. I'm like, damn. Cause like I said, it was funny, but you gonna see some things in podcasting. Just stick around.
Yeah, I've definitely had guests that are easier to talk to than others. Like sometimes you just gotta basically sit back and let them drop 50. I'm like, oh shit, and it ends
Hmm.
up being a good ass episode. I'm like, this is the easiest shit,
Yes.
But then, and that's one thing I'm learning as a host is, you know, those times are easy, but sometimes you gotta. I mean, the name of my show is toxic tangents. So yeah, that's what we
Mhm.
do. But sometimes you might have to put a little bit more structure and lead the conversation a little bit more, because it's not so easy. Um, but yeah, that's it's a skill, being a good podcast host.
Yes, it's definitely it's a skill that it takes time to master. You know what I'm saying? It takes time to master. But when you get it because you can make any shit sound good. Because some episodes I'll be like, man, if you don't talk and help a brother out, shit. I know you. This ain't. I know this is podcasting, but the name of the game is to talk and not just show up and look pretty. And another thing that I will say did annoy me is sometimes people didn't come prepared. Like, why
Mhm.
are you messaging me telling me, hey, my phone is about to die and I'm recording from my phone? I'm like, why isn't your
Nigga.
shit charged knowing you got to come on a podcast tonight?
Right,
See,
right,
that
right.
kind of shit right there will make me say, okay, you're one and done. You know what I'm saying? If I got to cut my episode short because you didn't charge your devices, I'm like, okay, you're one and done.
Right, or they show up with like a bad microphone or something like that.
Yes.
I had one episode. It was, I'm not gonna lie, a fire ass conversation, but the audio, like when I'm recording it, it didn't sound so bad. But then, when you download the audio file and you go to edit and stuff, I'm like, this is terrible on his end. But yeah, yeah, something you got to deal with. I probably, as I get better at editing, I'll see, some other things I could do to tweak it, because I really
Yeah.
do like that episode too.
Yeah. And there'll be some episodes that, it's just you play it back, you're like, now there was one episode that I originally I had put it up. I had one had put it up, but then I played it back. I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm thinking I need to take this shit down. And then as soon as I'm thinking that, one of my buddies who, like I said, I think I told you this on your podcast, one of my buddies who was on, he was like, bro, you need to take that shit down because this the audio is horrible and we're all over the place.
Yeah.
But listen, if you can go back in time, what's one thing about podcasting you wish you would have known before you got started?
I wish I would have known. It's a bit harder to get an audience. That and there's some pre-launch things that I wish I would have known. I mean, I guess I can get specific. Um, Things like, okay, recording like 5 to 10 episodes before and drop them all on the same day. Things like getting a whole like pre-launch posse, or friends or whoever to like, tell everybody through social media or whatever before. I think it was something else. But yeah, basically that type of stuff, because I learned, for instance, Apple Podcasts, when there's a new podcast, it kind of pushes it to the top. And as like downloads get more downloads, listens get more listens, followers get more followers, likes get more likes, etc. So if you do kind of like a huge push, and let's say you get a whole bunch of downloads within like the first week that you just dropped your podcast, it's gonna, push your podcast to the front page of Apple Podcasts or whatever, right? And
Hmm.
then it's gonna get even more views on it. So then you could kind of start off on a better foot, and collect X amount of, listeners from the gate. So I kind of wish I would have known that. And also audio quality, because in my opinion, like I said, I'm an avid podcast listener. I don't think audio quality needs to be perfect, but it needs to be good enough, right? And
Hmm.
a lot of the a lot of the advice that people give to podcasters is predicated on the fact that you might fall off, right? So it's doing stuff like telling you, well, yo, just get a like a Yeti mic, or just get, just do Anchor because it's free or something like that. Which there's nothing wrong with Anchor. Everybody uses Anchor.
Listen, I used Anchor for a while before I got the MacBook, so I understand Anchor because it took somebody to tell me I was like 70 episodes in. Somebody was like, "Hey, you know Anchor is free, right?" I was like, "Oh shit, fuck you, SoundCloud. Let's put it on
Right.
Anchor." You know.
Yeah, it is free and it is nice, but there's basically most of the advice that people give you as a new podcaster is because you might fall off, you might pod fade because honestly, most of you motherfuckers will.
Hmm.
So they kind of set you up for success, so you don't just spend a bunch of money on stuff and then it's a waste, and now you're no longer a podcaster. So that's cool and all, but at this point, I know. Well, I knew I wanted to do it, but the more I'm doing it, it's solidifying, my confidence in the fact that I want to keep doing this. So, in other words, I just wish I would have started off on a better foot and planned it out better. You know what I'm saying? Even from the artwork to the whole thing, because I was just on the thing on the mindset of let me just start it, right? Which isn't bad, just starting it. But if you know for a fact you're gonna be serious about it, yes, take a few more months or something to plan and build your resources, equipment, all that crap. Yeah.
That's real. That's definitely real because you definitely drop some dimes right there. You definitely gotta plan your resources, especially for a while if you know you're gonna keep this thing going. And plus, and also you gotta know that even because for me, I never really experienced pod fade because as soon as I felt that pod fade, something happened. I'd have the itch to record again. So it's like
Hmm.
for some of us, we just we just build different. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
what's your advice to anybody out there who's looking to start a podcast in 2022?
Uh, and I might be contradicting what I just said, but just start it. It don't have to be perfect. Just start it. But I mean, basically everything I just said. If you know for a fact that you want to do it, it's gonna pay off if you take a little bit of time to plan it out, what you want to talk about. Be unique. So I'll say that one. Uh, even from the name, because it's so many podcasts out there, like
Yes, it
hundreds of
is.
thousands. Are we at millions of podcasts yet?
We probably somewhere near millions of podcasts. It wouldn't shock me if we are because we are definitely near millions of podcasts because it's a lot of them out there. You know.
Yeah, and then yeah. So like I said, just start it. And yeah, plan. Be unique. Try to go, a little bit different than what other people are doing, but at the same time, don't be afraid if you kind of have the same content as somebody. Because think about it, it's you. And that's going back to that same point is leaning into that uniqueness, right? I got a comedy podcast, right? And we talk about society and all that kind of stuff, similar to this one, right? But guess
Hmm.
what? First of all, we have totally different sounding voices. We have totally different views on the world. We get totally different guests, all that stuff. So it's like, don't be intimidated by other podcasts. Just do you. Because guess what? They're going to continue to be more podcasts even after you start yours. Uh,
Hmm.
Last time I checked, there's about I don't know how many different brands of bottled water when you go to the store, right? They all water,
Yeah.
right? And last time I checked, they all making money. Like, come on.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. And it's like I definitely agree with that, you because it's definitely different. There's definitely some podcast for somebody. You never know. You might be holding major keys. Somebody might need to hear your podcast to motivate them to go ahead and start theirs. You just never know. So I
Facts.
definitely agree with everything you just said there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Go ahead and get that liquor pulled up and go ahead and subscribe wherever you get your podcast at. And go ahead and tap in for those of you watching this on YouTube. Hey, my man, I know you in Colorado. I don't know if you watch hockey or not, but Lightning
Mm.
in six because yo, yes, the world champs here in Tampa going up against your Colorado Avalanche. That was a good series they had, but hey, I like my boys in six because hey, they know how to get past adversity and stuff. But talk to me about being black in Denver, and also is it also tell me about the weed too? Is it really everything legal, or
Oof.
there's some stipulations to that shit?
So as far as marijuana goes, yes, as long as you're 21 and up, you can consume weed in your residence now. Like it's illegal to do public consumption, kind of like drinking on the street.
Hmm.
So same thing. But yes, I guess it's pretty cool. I don't smoke weed, so to be honest, I don't really much care. But it is pretty cool just to, I don't know, have that burden lifted. I
Yeah,
guess
because I know California is like super lax, and somebody told me Colorado can be strict at times. Is that true?
in terms of weed, nah. Maybe if you got pounds and pounds on you. So everybody 21 and up, you're allowed to possess up to 6 plants in your home, which is that's pretty good because if you growing weed, I don't know if you ever grew weed or knew somebody who grew weed, but depending on how good you are at growing and what strains you get and shit, you could produce pounds just off of them plants. But then you can have up to I think an ounce on you, um, which an ounce is that's a decent amount of weed too. Like if you call yourself smoking, but obviously if you doing other things, because what just casual weed smoker is carrying around pounds of weed, like you probably gonna try to sell it, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, if you just got pounds and pounds of weed, it might be a different story. But I don't know anybody who's got knocked for having pounds of weed as of lately. Um, and if they did, I would guess that the charge would be a little less, right? Because in general, shit is a little bit more laxed out here. But yeah, that's the deal with the weed. There's hella weed shops everywhere. I mean, shoot, I live across the street from a weed store. You can go in there and buy gummies and tinctures and all types of topical rubs, all this crap. I kind of know a lot about weed, but I used to smoke back in the day. but
It's not a problem if you still did. You know what I'm saying? I know
I know because it's
it's
legal.
judgment free around here. You know.
Yeah, right. I'm saying it like it's a bad thing, but I mean, personally, I don't. I think weed is. I mean, it is a drug. It makes you stupid. Sorry if I'm. Sorry if I'll probably just. I'll probably just offended like a bunch of people.
They'll live, you know what I'm saying? They'll
But
live, you know what I'm saying? Cause hey, they know what it is. It's like no, you offended the ones that use it stupidly. Like you have ones that just use it to chill and relax, but you have
yeah,
ones that they use it and they just feel invincible and shit.
right. I mean, alcohol makes you stupid, and I do that probably every weekend. So I'm not one to talk. All right, I'll admit that. But yeah, as far as the weed goes, it's pretty cool that you could do that. A lot of people visit town just to, well, not just to get weed, but that's something on the tourist list for them is to go to a cool weed shop and get some shit. I mean, obviously your weed man probably gonna have the best prices, but the weed stores they're gonna have maybe some super exotic shit or some real strong stuff that you might want to try. So yeah, everything is not legal here. Shrooms are decriminalized, so I guess there's that. Uh, so I guess that's kind of a what I'm saying. This is a liberal
Listen,
state.
I don't know if I'd ever do shrooms because I've heard some crazy ass stories about some shrooms and stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I need to be here tomorrow. I need to remember what the hell happened.
Right.
I don't need to be in some galaxy far, far away.
See, and that's my thing with doing any type of hallucinogenics or whatever is you might I don't want to lose my mind. I've heard stories about weird old people who like back in the day they did too much acid and now they have a perma trip and they always think somebody's right there but they're not there or something something crazy like that. Um, yeah, I would never touch acid. I think I did shrooms a few times before. It's kind of fun. I never did enough to like start tripping heavy,
know.
because sometimes you hear like people start full on hallucinating. I've never done that much. I just got like a body high and started kind of laughing and shit. Um, so I guess that's kind of fun, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely is, and you never know. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to some crazy experiences now. If y'all listening to this, don't y'all gonna think, oh my goodness, he don't want to live. Hey, I'm open to whatever as long as I'm with good people. You know what I'm saying? So talk
Right.
about living in Colorado because I know y'all are a mile high and it's a mile high above sea level. Like, how is it for Black people in Colorado?
It's cool. It's kind of hard for me to answer that question because I've basically lived here all my life. But you know, of course, I mean, I got mad family in Houston. I go there often. I got, you know, what I'm saying. I've been to other places. Finally went to Atlanta last year. Loved it. Loved it. So
Hey,
I
I
guess
don't blame you if you did.
right. First of all, the women out there, like, sheesh, like,
I mean,
yeah,
listen, I heard
man.
Houston women top Atlanta though, from what I heard.
Nah, nah. And so the girls in Atlanta, they cooler, like they easier to chill with than Houston, and that they look better if you ask me. Um, I think Houston girls act a little more bougie, actually a lot more bougie than Atlanta. I fuck with Atlanta tough, but it was nice going out there, and I'm like, oh shit, there's people that look like me, like you know what I'm saying. It's just a level of comfortability, you know, compared to out here and stuff.
So wait, there aren't people that a lot of people that look like us in Colorado?
No, there is, you know, there is, but it's just not gonna be like that. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like most of the places you go, unless you in Aurora or maybe Park Hill. I'm trying to think where Montbello, other different parts of Denver, Five Points, even. You know, it's not gonna be like that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the clubs you go to, it's gonna be, you know, you go in and it's just a lot of brothers, you know, talking to other races of women because they not even in that club like that. Like one,
Damn, it sounds like what the hell I got to deal with in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Because well, at least in Tampa, at least because it's like we seeing brothers talking to other races, and we see it
yeah,
all.
which is
I'm like,
cool, but it's like sometimes I'm like, damn, if you want some black girls out here, you got to go specifically to black clubs for the most part, and there's only a handful, and even with that, sometimes man, niggas get to shooting and shit. I'm like, come on, man. One of my favorite clubs got shot up the other week, and I didn't even know it because I hadn't been there in a while, and then I asked about it, and they're like, nope, somebody shot that up, and then not too long before that, there was this little function that this DJ has out here. His name is Squizzy Taylor, but he be having all kinds of parties and stuff like that. It's a little Taco Tuesday thing, you know. Because one time I was looking for shit to do on a Tuesday, I was off, and they're like, "Oh nope, they shot up Taco Tuesday the other week." I'm like, "Come on, man! Like, why y'all gotta act like that?" But
yes,
yeah, that's kind of annoying. It would be nice if there was more like black clubs and shit. You know what I'm saying? But there's not all that many of us, so I could see how there's only a handful. But it's still cool. We got a good Juneteenth festival. I'll say that, and it's getting bigger too. So what this year they got Davies, Twista, a bunch of local artists and DJs. I was surprised when I saw both of those names. I was like, oh shit, they really trying to do this thing out here, you know?
yes, yes. That's what's up. Hey, corporate America, stop fucking with Juneteenth, man. It's like my goodness, y'all. We make it a national holiday now. You motherfuckers want to make money off of it. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? That's a black people holiday, not for
Right.
y'all to make money off of it.
To be fair, they do that to every other holiday except like all the cultural ones. Like they don't do that to Cinco de Mayo, do they?
I think they make money off Cinco de shit. All the taco places that are owned by white folks be making money off them.
Okay, yeah, that's that. But I don't know. Even still, it's just different. You know what I'm saying? It just don't look right when certain people do certain Juneteenth things. It's
It
like,
don't.
nah,
It don't.
it
Shit.
don't
I'm just
feel
like
right.
let the black people take the lead on this one. Sit this one out.
Right, right,
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Look, let us shop black that day. Let us buy some black
right.
owned things. And also shout out to the person who's ever over this Target While Black page. Man, you about to make me spend a bag in Target.
Shit, man. What was that? Wait, what was that racist thing that Walmart did? Didn't they do something
Walmart
crazy?
tried to make some ice cream, but get this, it was copied off of a black-owned ice cream company. How the hell y'all gonna copy a black-owned ice cream company and then call it Juneteenth ice cream?
That's weird. What flavor was it? Like
Shit.
pistachio or something? I don't know what you would.
No, I think it was like a red velvet cheesecake. I think it was.
Oh, come on, man.
Exactly. That's what I'm like, you know. And I heard even some places, I think Children's Hospital in Indianapolis had a Juneteenth salad with some chicken and watermelon. I'm like,
That's kind of funny because it's so ridiculous. Like,
it is funny. It's funny saying it, but then you're like, y'all are that stupid.
right.
Y'all are that uncultured. My goodness.
Because they know we ain't buying that.
You know damn well we ain't buying that shit.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Bro, I can't make it up. I like this is some shit that went over my head too. I'm like, man, what? Y'all want to do this? Man, we do not be doing that for y'all holidays and stuff. But then again, it goes back to we the culture. They want to steal every little thing about black culture, you know?
Right. They just trying to be a part of it. You know.
Just to try to be a part of it to say, I'm like, nah, you want to just go ahead and sit this one out because y'all gonna find a way to copy of it, you know?
And sometimes it's like it's not necessarily for you to be a part of. You know, it's for you to just sit back, respect it, and be like, okay, they got that over there. All right, I'm gonna do me. It's okay to mind your business.
Yes. It is damn sure okay to mind your business. It is respected to mind your business, you know. And it's like it's just we always gotta deal with white culture always trying to come in to influence us, you know. Like, and I was watching the I Am Athlete podcast, and the game was talking about how white corporations would put the money behind white artists. I'm like, no wonder. No wonder our black artists who are better than a lot of these artists out here skillfully in hip hop, you know, they
Hmm.
can't get no love because all damn white artists trying to get all the love.
Right. I don't know how you feel about those rappers because I don't really listen to them really. Like that dude, the dude with the what he's blowing up right now.
Jack Harlow.
Yeah,
It's
him
like
and
some
yeah.
things he got some catchy shit too, but the whole thing is I'm like, but what makes me a little mad is like BT would rather nominate him for award over a Lil Nas X. I'm like,
They nominated him.
they nominated Jack Harlow over Nas X for something.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't even think Nas X got a nomination. I'm like, you fucking serious?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, that is definitely kind of weird. And I'm just like, and then don't help this white boy over here. He clever. He know how to play the game. He's like always had this love for black women and stuff. I'm like, okay, white boy, okay. You just trying to soak up your fame because you know the white corporation is gonna throw all that money behind you because you know BT is owned by Viacom, so of course you know what I'm saying
Right.
the white corporation is gonna be trying to fund. Hey, we need him. I'm like, nah,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like you said, he has a couple good songs, I guess that I do listen to. I'm not gonna be, I won't lie like that, but I don't really know his music or care about it or anybody like him neither.
yeah. It's like I think this was probably the first time I really tapped into him because I heard a couple of his songs like "What's Poppin'" or "That's How Heroes" song, but yeah, but then I was like,
Yeah,
okay, he come with the bangers. It's okay. I'll give him his credit, but I'm just like I don't like
yeah,
how they just trying to market him and also over prominent black artists.
right. I feel like there always has to be a new, like hottest white rapper at any given time. At least just one.
And
You know
it's
what I'm
like,
saying?
and honestly, last time I was watching I'm Athlete podcast and the game it basically said that's kind of how Eminem blew up. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
Eminem has some hard bars. It's like, but I feel like Eminem didn't need all of that to get blown up because he was good, but you
Okay.
know,
Yeah, and you know what? I don't want to take nothing away from that man. Because first of all, he is one of the best lyricists. I didn't say the best, but he's cold. He
he's
can, he
one
can
of the
spit.
best.
Yeah, he could spit, so don't take that away from. And look at how many people he's put on.
Yeah,
Specifically how many black people he's put on.
yeah. I
Look at
respect the
all the
fact that he. Yep.
D12 Slaughterhouse. So many Interscope rappers. Like, so you can't even be like that with him. I will say his music personally, I don't resonate so much with it. If anything, I like Slim Shady more than Eminem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, some of his music, like 8 Mile, was kind of motivate you to go ahead, motivate you, get your shit done. You know what I'm saying? But some of the other
Right.
shit he was talking about, I'm like, okay, this is way
Y-
over my head.
Yeah, so what? So all white boy shit. He talking about killing his mom and all that. I'm like, okay, all
I'm
right.
like, okay, okay,
But he can spit.
you're over my head now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. He can spit though. Can't take
He
that away
can,
from the
yeah, he
dude.
can, but you know what I'm saying. But hey, I really feel like the game probably should got some of that marketing though. But go catch that I'm Athlete episode though with the game, and you'll see what I was talking about. So
Yeah, I'm gonna see that. And you know what? One thing I said is, hip hop is really the number one genre when you got white rappers beefing. You remember when Eminem was beefing with MGK?
yeah, I saw that. I
There
was
was
like,
that. I was like,
what?
wait, what? Yeah, hell yeah. We
That
got
one
that
was
many
like,
of them,
wait,
and
why?
they
Why
beefing
y'all
now.
asses beefing? Y'all are white.
Right? They should be working together or something.
Y'all
But
should be
that ain't.
working
Hey, that ain't
together,
my
man.
problem. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm like,
If
damn,
they
I
if
didn't
they
even.
yeah, if they
I knew
tear
they
down
were
each other's
beefing.
careers, then whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is. I just throw my hands up to that one, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Toxic Tangents Podcast is in the house tonight, ladies and gentlemen, y'all. Go ahead and tap into his podcast if you haven't done so already. But let's talk about some toxic things. What are some toxic things we do in relationships, And I got one based off of a certain celebrity situation. I feel like a toxic thing we don't do in relationships is we don't ask the right questions, because if we ask the questions in the beginning, it'll save us a whole lot of drama.
Facts. Facts.
Listen, because I really feel like some of us, it's like, because now it's about to be a low playing field out here, because you got some women, they playing the game too. You know what?
Mm,
While you got some brothers out here that want to settle down, and some people want to settle down, and some people want to play the game. So it's like, I feel like
right.
one toxic habit we gotta stop doing is before we get into committed relationships, we gotta ask the tough questions to draw out the answers and stuff to, figure out where the hell this
Mm.
person's head is at.
So by that you mean just the basic, like, okay, are you trying to eventually get married? Are you looking for something serious? Do you want kids?
Yeah.
That type of shit.
That type of shit. And also you gotta see where their head is at mentally as well. And also you gotta see if they're really trying to recover from something as well. Because I
Ooh,
don't need you
I
to
hate
me and
that.
you down the line. Go ahead.
I hate that the most. It feels like everybody just broke up with their ex boyfriend or something
What?
like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Bruh,
yo, don't have me out here as a fucking rebound. Like, nah. But really, sometimes you just gotta exactly ask those questions and pay attention. Like, okay, if she just broke up with her ex nigga, like, I don't know,
uh-huh,
3 months
because
ago, nah, she needs some more time. I need to
mhm.
hear at least like 6 months ago. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, you probably just trying to jump back into another relationship because you don't like to be single, or you're not even really over that dude. Like,
Or maybe you just and honestly, I'd be okay if you just told me you just down to fuck. And not a lot of women are gonna come out
right.
and say that, but hey, if you come out and say that, I'll be like, okay. Well, let's make it do what it do. But not a lot of people are gonna say that though, and it's like because sometimes if you really get serious with somebody, their ex will somehow pop back up into the picture. I'm like, I thought you just broke up with this motherfucker.
Always, always. Like, why? What's wrong with people? You know what I'm saying? I
Yes,
hate that X shit. Like, no, no, don't you mention that nigga's name around me. Don't you talk about him. I don't give a fuck what he did. Like, no,
yes,
no X, nothing. Cause, see, I'm the type of person. After I'm done with a woman, I'm done. Like, and see, but I'm different. I know so many people. They still, keep the person's number in their phone or still
shit.
connected on social. Like, no, I'm blocking you on everything. I'm deleting your shit. Like, yo, I told you I'm through, and we through. But so many people don't do that. They leave the door open, And I think that's very toxic because it takes away from your current relationship or anything that you're pursuing now. So it's tough because exactly what you said. You never know what's really on somebody's mind, if there's any ulterior motives or
Hmm.
anything crazy like that.
Yeah, it definitely is. And honestly, it's like I had one person I was kind of with. They told me their ex was with somebody else and told them straight up, "Hey, I miss you." I'm like, how the hell you miss this
See,
person, but you with somebody else, and
see,
you're gonna accept that shit? What the fuck is wrong with you?
did they end up getting back with that person?
As far as I know, they did. I could care less because it's like me
Yeah.
and this person kind of had it out. It's like if you embarrass me in front of my family, I really stop giving a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm.
have me looking stupid in front of my family. I really don't give a fuck about you. It's like, and that's why I'm just like, you know what? I'm over this person, but that's why they blocked me on social media. I blocked them right back. But then I did. Sometimes you did sneak peek on them just to be nosy, and you're like, damn, I'm like, damn, this motherfucker really done moved on. Then I'm like, the universe just rewarded this person for treating me like shit. I'm like,
Right. And
but
see, that's the thing behind it is when people quote unquote send that message to check up on their ex, or they friend their ex on social media or look at a picture or their story or something. They don't really care. They just mostly trying to see if they're doing better than them. Like,
mhm.
you don't give a shit how I'm doing. You wanna see if I got other hoes, if I'm living my life like that. So that's
Yeah.
the best thing you could do after you get a breakup is really start just go hard. Like, yo, I'm on boats. I got, you know what I'm saying? Just act
And
that ass.
honestly, sometimes you ain't even gotta stunt like that. You just gotta live your life. That's the real stunting, you know what I'm saying? If you
Yeah,
just live your life and not be defeated about it, and you just live your life and you making shit happen, that's the real victory, you know what I'm saying? Because then that person can all they can say is, hey, you know what I'm saying? He made something for himself, you know? Because sometimes you might be, because I've seen some situations where you might be laughing now, but guess what? A couple years from now, you won't be laughing. So
right.
because things will always get better. Like another thing we do, I think we do is toxic is we don't communicate in relationships. Because
Fuck no.
I had a coworker tell me today, she was just like, I'm so annoyed with my boyfriend. He don't really get out what I need to say. It's like I'm trying to get him to tell his feelings, tell me how he feeling and stuff. It's like
Mm,
I feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody, nobody don't need to be should be trying to pull it out of you. No, say how the fuck you feel. Shit. We grown
right.
ups.
Right. But I don't know. That sounds like a tricky situation because I think a lot of ladies want us to express more and be more open, but sometimes it does seem like when you do that, they're not so receptive of it, and they start disrespecting you a little bit because they see you as soft. I'm like, but what? I thought you wanted me to,
You
you
know
know
what?
what I'm saying?
And all that would tell me, and if you have that perception of me, if I open up to you and that's your perception of me, I'm like, then that just tells me you're not the woman for me. Simple as that. Because
Right.
the woman for you is gonna be receptive of, she's gonna respect you, and she's gonna communicate right back to you with how she's feeling, and y'all gonna have that healthy communication. So if the, and that and you know what, and it's sad that we're in this society and there's still some childish ass women like that want to get mad when a man opens up and stuff. But yeah, y'all always saying we want men to open up, we want this to open that, but when a man
Mm,
pours out, he's this, he's that, you belittling him, you're using what he said against him in a future argument. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to listen for something you can hold on to and throw in his face when you get mad at him. So
mm.
that's not healthy, ladies, and y'all need to stop it.
Facts. Facts. Wow. You spitting, my nigga.
That's what we do on Look and Talk, man. We spit, man. We spit because we've been through this shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I know you done been through some shit, and I've been through some shit. So it's just we learn from the shit, and we learn from the toxic shit, and it's just it trains our minds for what we don't want to deal with. I'm almost to the point of, hey, I respect when somebody rejects me, even though it stings. But I'm like, okay, fine.
Mm.
I don't have to waste my money on you. And you listen, that's another toxic thing as well. Money. Why the hell how much money I be spending matters in a date, huh?
Whew.
Because I bet the
Yeah.
sorry nigga who's probably bending you over, breaking your back, ain't gotta spend dime on you.
That right there. Yes, because and that's why some men are so reluctant to spend money in those situations because we know there's a dude somewhere up in them guts. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
women are way better at having options, and
Yes, they are.
and backup plans and shit. They're very
Yes, they
good at
are.
that.
It's like as soon as you fuck up, they already got the first. They already got the next nigga lined up.
They been had them lined up.
He was in because they probably can pluck somebody from the friend zone. You know what? Step
Hmm.
right up. Kick him
Oh,
to the curb. Step right up.
it is freaking terrible. But that's just one of the things when it comes to dating that you gotta put up with. That's one thing as men we just have to accept it. Like, hey, I might spend this money and might go anywhere. You hear a lot of people say, "Oh, they wasted my time. They wasted my time." Okay, I'll be honest. This might be toxic, but if a woman says that, I'm kind of like, I don't give a fuck. At least you didn't waste no money. You know what I'm saying? If the date went bad, look, in terms of our shit, not only did we waste time, but we wasted our money on you too. At least you got treated to a free meal or some free drinks. You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
in my opinion, I didn't never been treated out for food and drink, had a great time and shit, or whatever. Or maybe it was just but guess what? It was free, so it couldn't have been that bad. Like,
Exactly. You
you get what I'm
know,
saying?
Now I've had that happen to me. Like I have had somebody treat me, but guess what? When it went bad, guess what they do? I paid for more dates than you. Why the fuck does that matter? Why in the fuck does that matter that you paid for more dates than me? So fucking what? I wasted money and time with you too, motherfucker. Why does it matter?
Damn, you had a woman pay for more dates than you?
That happened. Listen, I was at a low point. I
Mm.
was at a low point in time. I was trying to catch up. This chick was interested, and it's like now the first date she paid for it. It wasn't even an intention that she was gonna pay for it. She just went on ahead and paid for it because she was a fucking hour late. You know what I'm saying? And I still waited on her
There
ass.
you go. She should have
See,
paid for it.
hell yeah. But now see, she kept texting me the whole time, and it was raining and stuff. And she kept texting me, I'm on the way and stuff. Right as I'm about to leave, she texted me, "Oh, I'm pulling in and stuff." And she said, "Oh, I was late, so don't worry about it. I'll pay for it." You know what I'm saying? So,
Rightfully so. But it looks like it went south from there. So, what I've been told, if a woman's more than like, I don't know, like 10, maybe 20 minutes late tops, just clip
yeah,
it. And if she's still adamant about meeting up, I guess just say, okay, well, shit, balls in your court, right? Like you could schedule the date, plan it. Like you taking me out at this point, if you still do really want to go out, that is,
yeah,
because I didn't did my part and showed up on time. Like
yeah.
I personally need to get better at that.
Honestly,
Cause
I got to a point of I don't give a fuck. It's like because out of my college years, I was the one always breaking the bread on dates and stuff. I was looking up like,
I mean,
what the
as you
fuck.
should.
Yeah, I was like, I'm once I took this chick to a high end restaurant, only for her to tell me, "Oh, I just don't see you like that." I'm like, bitch, I done
Ooh.
spent $60 on you, and you just told me that.
For the
You know what
first
I'm saying?
date.
Yeah, first date.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah.
me and
So
this chick
that
had known each other for years though, so it's like something. Okay, it ain't gonna be so bad. I'm thinking she
okay.
might see my greatness, but guess what? I also learned you sometimes you gotta strike while the iron is hot. If you're feeling somebody, but go for it. Don't let that
Oof.
person. Don't let time go by because once that person gets a perception of you, it's really hard to change that perception of you.
Right. Plus there's always other dudes in the picture too. So you gotta, you know, she's talking to other dudes just like you talking to other women. So you gotta
Hmm.
exactly what you said. Hurry up and scoop that up while you can.
Yep. Yep. And the last toxic thing I will say is you can't let somebody change you. You cannot let somebody change you. It's like if you're changing who you are to appease this person and make this person happy, you're wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? Because and also if you're out there trying to mold somebody into your perfect man or perfect woman, you're wasting your time because all you're doing is molding them for the next person. Because they're gonna get tired of you molding them and stuff.
Hmm.
They're gonna kick you to the curb and they'll feel like they ready for somebody else.
Yeah, and as far as that goes, you should. I need to tell a lot of dudes you're welcome. You know, especially really when it comes to like doing shit in the bedroom. Like you're welcome. I taught her that, nigga. You're welcome. Yeah,
Right.
that. Yep, you're welcome. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like, and I want to thank all the dudes who came before me. Like, damn, this bitch is freaky like that. Thank you. Give me his number. Like,
I'm like my head. I'm like my nigga. You need to be a sex therapist. I'm like, God damn, dog. You done taught her all this shit. And hey, and all the women that done probably came before the woman that I'm about to sleep with, she was like, hey, they need to be thanking them too, because hey, I learned some bits and things too.
right. I
We
guess we
all
just
learning out here.
one big Eskimo family.
Uh-huh. We all learning around here. We all learning from each other. We all learning this stuff.
Oh shit! In some ways, that's kind of nasty. That's why being single for too long is nasty. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Being single for too long is nasty, but it's just you see the bullshit couples deal with, and you're like, some days you're like, oh, okay, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm good because I don't need some woman throwing me out the house because I ain't cook her no dinner or can cook make her something to eat or something like that.
Right.
And it's just sometimes I have my days where I just want to be selfish, you know what I'm saying? So some days being single is good, but then some days you're like, damn, I do would like to have somebody chill with, but it is what it is.
Right. I mean, it's
But
the
another
summer.
toxic, go ahead.
Nah, I was just saying it's the summer, so
Yeah,
yeah.
it's about to be hot girl summer, hot boy summer. We about to see these hot girl, hot boys battles
Ooh.
all fucking summer. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and I'm about to act the ass at this Juneteenth festival. There was so many hoes last year. It's about to be crazy.
Bruh, show your ass, dog. Just show your ass. Show your ass all the way, dog. Because hey, because shit, I might have to figure out where these Juneteenth festivals at here. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably slide one to myself, but yeah, but this has been lit, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. If you don't know now, you know. All right, man. What you got planned for your podcast for the remainder of 2022?
Shoot, honestly, just to keep going, go harder. You know what I'm saying? Get even more toxic, get even more ratchet on the podcast. But yeah, basically that. It's never stopping. So, every Monday you can catch me wherever you listen to this. Just look me up, Toxic Tangents. Hit that follow button too. After you listen to Liquor Talk, just head on over around the corner to Toxic Tangents.
All right, lastly, my brother, you have a great platform. I done been on it. You got dope vibes. Tell the people why they need to head on over and subscribe to the Toxic Tangents podcast.
Cause we ain't afraid to get toxic. We're gonna say how we really feel on there. We not holding back, and cause you like to support black business.
Yes. Ooh, that's good. That's definitely good. Well, Julius, my brother, I want to thank you for coming on Liquor Talk. Blessing to Liquor Talk with your presence. And whenever you want to have me on again, remember I might be in Florida, but I'm just a DM away. So whenever you're ready to work again, let me know. I'm up for it, man. I'm game for it.
Yes, sir. I would love that. We gonna be in touch. Thank you
Yes,
for having
yes,
me on again.
yes, sir. And thank you to listening to Liquor Talk. Thank you for subscribing. Whether you're subscribing on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts at. Remember to tap in, pour it up, tap in with Liquor Talk. Remember, all your promises are short. Keep it moving. Take some shots. Keep moving. Until next time, we out this motherfucker. Deuces, y'all. Deuces.